The Ramayana, one of the most ancient and revered texts in human history, a tale of divine beings, powerful kings, and cosmic battles. But how old is it really? What does it truly mean? And what relevance does it hold for us today? The Ramayana is traditionally attributed to the sage Valmiki and is believed to have been written between 500 BCE and 100 BCE. However, the story is much older, passed down orally for generations before being committed to writing. Some scholars argue that its roots stretch back as far as 1500 BCE, making it one of the earliest and most influential epics in human history. The story centers around Rama, the prince of Ayodhya, his devoted wife Sita, and his loyal brother Lakshmana. After being unjustly exiled to the forest, Sita is kidnapped by the demon king Ravana. Ravana was a terrible demon, Rakshasa, who was the king of all demons and of the fortress island of Lanka, modern-day Sri Lanka. His father was Visravas, son of Pulastya, one of the creator Prajapati, and his mother Nikasa, also a demon and mother of the cannibal demons, the Pisatasanas. The Ramayana then follows Rama's journey to rescue her. It culminates with an epic battle with Ravana, aided by the mighty Hanuman and his army of monkeys. But the Ramayana is more than just a tale of adventure. It is a story of duty, devotion, morality, and the eternal battle between good and evil. These themes resonate deeply in Hinduism, shaping not only spiritual beliefs but the way people live their daily lives. Over time, the Ramayana has morphed and evolved. While Valmiki's version remains the most well-known, other versions like the Tamil Kamba Ramayanam and Tulsidas Ramacharitmanas offer regional variations that adapt the story to local cultures. In some versions, Ravana is portrayed as a more complex figure, even as a noble king. His heritage and fortress suggest otherwise. At its core, the Ramayana teaches the importance of following one's dharma, or duty. Rama, the ideal king, and Sita, the devoted wife, embody this principle. However, modern scholars, especially from feminist perspectives, have re-evaluated these roles, questioning traditional depictions of women and their place in society, perhaps placing doubt regarding the veracity of the text as a true recital of history. However, this is itself a modern and somewhat dubious overlay. This leads us to a key question. Where do scholars and theologians agree and disagree about the Ramayana? While all agree on the text's profound cultural impact, they debate its historical accuracy. Was Rama a real historical figure? Is Ravana's fortress in Sri Lanka a myth, or could it have existed in some form? Sigiriya, the impressive fortress temple, occupied by King Kasyapa, who ruled from there until 495 AD, when he abandoned it, and the site became a Buddhist monastery. Local legend from deeper antiquity speaks of Ravana, the formidable king of Lanka, who was renowned for his strength and wisdom. It is said that he chose the imposing rock of Sigiriya as the site for his fortress, recognizing its strategic location and natural defenses. Sigiriya sits atop a strategic rocky outcrop and may be visited today. Secure, with its narrow, steep ascent, is easily defended with just a few soldiers. If any attacker actually made it to the plateau, they were met with pools of water that had varying depths. Using reflections and color, it is impossible to judge the depth of a pool. One misstep, and any unfortunate invader would be immersed over their head in crocodile-infested water. It is disingenuous by historians to claim the feet at the temple entrance are those of a lion. Here, we see 4 distinct, forward-facing clawed toes of a lion. Those we see on the ground are distinctly reptilian, with wider talons and no fur featured. The shape of the grand structure, too, appears to be the head of a crocodile, and the ground-level entrance is adorned with brickwork suggestive of reptilian scales. There seems to be an institutional fear of acknowledging that any form of intelligent reptilians have ever existed here on Earth, but mounting evidence to the contrary is compelling to say the least. The lion, although used symbolically in the Sri Lankan flag, is a vestige of the past. Britannica informs us that according to legend, Prince Vijaya, founder of Sri Lanka, arrived in the 5th century BC from Sinapura, Lion City, in India. Since that time, the lion flag has been the chief flag of the island's Sinhalese majority, except in those years when Sri Lanka was conquered by foreign invaders. Britain established its control over the island in 1815, when it overcame the King of Kandy, forcing him to lower the lion flag on March 2, 1815. Independence was restored on February 4, 1948, and the same lion flag, based on a painting of the original, was hoisted in celebration. Also, Wikipedia tells us, Panthera leocinaleus is an extinct prehistoric subspecies of lion, excavated in Sri Lanka. It is believed to have become extinct prior to the arrival of humans around 37,000 years BCE. It seems lions, as living creatures, have no contemporary or near-ancient connection with Sri Lanka, yet the imagery and sculptural elements suggest a reptilian origin as a more appropriate thematic notion. And what of the famous bridge, Rama's Setu, also known as Adam's Bridge, which spans the shallow sea between India and Sri Lanka? Was it naturally formed, or was it man-made or monkey-made? In 2007, a report from the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, stated that the Ram Setu was nothing more than a natural formation. The government of India, with the support of the ASI, filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court, stating that there was no historical proof of the structure being built by Lord Ram. However, and with tremendous monkey power available, it appears a strategically intelligent way to gain permanent control over the large island. A mighty feat to build, the 48-kilometer bridge is seemingly beyond the capacity of archaeology to accept as achievable, and so it is dismissed condescendingly, even as strong evidence suggests its reality and should be lauded. Archaeologists have searched for evidence of these stories for centuries. Some claim the bridge is a natural formation, while others argue it was built by ancient civilizations, as described in the text. The debates continue, however. There is more evidence seemingly ignored, including ancient imagery showing the construction of the road by a monkey army. There are also compelling temple sculptures depicting the monkeys building the road, rock by rock. Convincing data when combined with the text, wouldn't you agree? It is difficult to understand why archaeology does not agree. A disturbing trend is apparent, when an artifact does not fit the fragile hypothesis underpinning a selective paradigm, hinting at a malaise or more sinister, perhaps an agenda? Fortunately, as reported on organizer.org in a recent 2024 article we read, a team from the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, through dedicated use of state-of-the-art technology, have successfully conducted undersea mapping mission and have revealed that India did have an ancient land connectivity with Sri Lanka through a bridge known to Indians as Setu, which is comprehensively quoted and referred many times in Indian scholarly religious literature. The Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, has successfully mapped the submerged structure of Adam's Bridge, also known as Setu, an ancient bridge between India and Sri Lanka, mentioned in Indian religious texts. The researchers used ICSat-2 data from October 2018 to October 2023 to generate a 10-meter sufficient to capture details of a train-sized coach. The detailed underwater map reveals the bridge's continuity from Dhanushkodi to Talaimana, with a staggering 99.98% of it submerged in shallow waters. According to a study published in the journal Scientific Reports, ISRO scientists used advanced laser technology from a US satellite to create a high-resolution map of the entire length of the submerged ridge. The research team, led by Giribabu Dandapathula, discovered 11 narrow channels that allowed water to flow between the Gulf of Mannar and Polk Strait, and play a crucial role in preserving the structure from sea waves. The study confirms the origin of the Adams Bridge, also called Setu, which was once a land connection between India and Sri Lanka. The findings provide new insights into the region's history and the formation of this ancient structure. The submerged structure was called Adams Bridge by an East India Company mapper. The structure, described as Setu by Indians, is mentioned in the Ramayana and the Ramcharitmanas as a bridge built by Bhagwan Ram's army to help him reach Sri Lanka, where Devi Sita was held captive by Ravana. Persian navigators in the 9th century AD referred to it as Setu Bandhai, or a bridge over the sea. Temple records from Rameshwaram indicate that the bridge was above sea level until 1480, when it was demolished by a powerful storm. It appears colonial motivations, both political and financial, have created a soup of distractions to ensure Setu is a polarizing issue. What remains undisputed is the Ramayana's central place in the spiritual and cultural life of millions. The Ramayana is not just a Hindu epic. Its themes of exile, devotion, and the battle between good and evil echo in other religious texts as well. In the Bible, the Israelites' exile and return to the Promised Land, or even the battle between God and Satan, mirror the cosmic struggles found in the Ramayana. These parallels raise an intriguing question. Does the Ramayana form part of a greater narrative shared by human civilizations? While the stories may differ, the messages of moral order, divine intervention, and cosmic justice are universal. And then there are the deities. Rama, an incarnation of Vishnu, is the embodiment of righteousness and divine order. Hanuman, the monkey god, represents unwavering devotion and immense strength. Their energies resonate far beyond Hinduism. In fact, if we look deeper, The characteristics of these figures resemble divine archetypes from other cultures. Hanuman's loyalty and strength, for example, can be compared to Hercules of Greek mythology. Even Ravana, the powerful antagonist, mirrors other complex figures like Lucifer, symbolizing ambition and rebellion against divine order. The entrance to his fortress and many of the statues demonstrate Ravana's connection to the reptilian archetype. Ravana was recorded as a ravenous, cannibalistic demon king and possibly chose to eat those he ruled over, terrorizing the population, ruling through fear. Over the centuries, the Ramayana has been a living text, not only influencing literature and art, but also shaping religious practices, political thought, and social norms. From ancient temples to modern-day festivals, its impact is as powerful today as it was millennia ago. So, what does the Ramayana mean to us today? Is it simply a myth, or does it hold deeper truths about the nature of duty, devotion, and cosmic order? The answers lie not just in the text and vivid imagery, but in how we choose to interpret its lessons for the modern world. The Ramayana. Ancient epic or modern influence? Perhaps it is both, forever guiding us through the challenges of life, while reminding us of the eternal battle between good and evil, darkness and light, highlighting the conscious choices we make within ourselves to step into either, thus affecting the world around us. Understanding our past, learning the stories, and assessing ourselves against its lessons is the reason our predecessors took the time and energy to record these and many other events across the globe. We would be naive to pass the images, sculptures, and text off as mere fantasy, and thereby be destined to repeat the mistakes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Join us next time as we explore the deep connections between ancient myths, scripture, sculpture, and their modern interpretations.